Now, one theory that the defense is suggesting is that a satanic cult killed them in some sort of ritual. Well, this has many Satanists mad as heck. You're about to find out why. Karla LaVey is founder of the First Satanic Church. Welcome to you.
Thank you.
And we still have our attorneys with us. But first and foremost, why is it that you are so mad about Scott Peterson's defense team suggesting the satanic cult theory?
Oh, for many reasons. Because basically it is absolutely absurd. It is the last sort of thing that anyone who considers themselves a Satanist, whether or not they're an acting member or if they've just read my father's book, The Satanic Bible, it is stated in the Satanic Bible that in any rituals, and we do believe in the power of magic, but magic at one time, everything that is science was once considered magic.
Okay.
This is a very selfish religion. We believe in greed, we believe in selfishness.
We do not believe in an actual devil as an anthropomorphic deity that has horns and a tail. It doesn't take on any characteristics of man or beast. It's simply a name, a symbol that we use.
Okay, now,
Linda, can I just, on this notion that somehow the defense is wrong, it was doing something evil in even raising this, it defies logic and common sense for anyone to suggest that there are not people misguided, that there haven't been people in the past who in their warped sense of the satanic cult have committed crimes. That doesn't mean that this good woman or that their religion is the cause of it, but there are people out there who have justified in their own minds doing horrible, horrible things. So that may be where the defense is going, and it ultimately is going to be up for the jury to decide whether or not it raises a reasonable doubt.
But there are people out there doing horrible things in any religion, and there are far fewer, if any. There are almost none that are. There has never been an account of anyone who has been a member of any organized satanic religion that has committed a crime.
Okay,
like
now
this.
here is a...
Well, it depends. I mean, I'm not sure about what satanic church beliefs you have, but it's possible that there are other people out there that, you know, like the gentleman on the right said, that just that's the way they are. They want to go out and do these things, and they believe that's what they need to do in order to worship Satan.
Okay, Karla, fill us in.
Yes, a satanic cult is actually a contradiction in terms. Satanism is a philosophy that basically believes in living your life to the fullest. We don't believe necessarily that there is an afterlife, so we don't live for an afterlife.
But what do you believe about children and harming children?
Because animals and small children are the greatest natural magicians that there are, and we would do absolutely nothing to harm them, and that is stated in the Satanic Bible. It's one of our basic tenets.
But a madman out there in the name, in a warped sense, in the name of a satanic cult and religion, may do something horrible. There's no such thing as a satanic cult, because Satanism basically is all about rational free thinking. And we do not have cults. Cults are things like Jim Jones and Heaven's Gate.
Right.
We do not have anything that has anything to do with brainwashing.
We believe in all of the lustful thoughts that motivate man, because this is man's natural feeling.
Because with all of the prejudice and ignorance, because people do not know what Satanism is all about. They don't understand that it's a philosophy with a group of people that are actually very talented individuals. They think that they're a bunch of devil-worshipping killers, which they are not.
You have been kind enough to come in and fill us in on what your church really believes in. We thank you very much, Karla LaVey.
But now Scott's team has one more group to deal with, the First Satanic Church. Yes, you heard it right. They are, quote, appalled, outraged, and furious that they've been used and abused by a national renowned lawyer in an unscrupulous and laughable attempt to blame Laci Peterson's horrible murder on a satanic cult. Joining me now is Karla LaVey, the founder of the First Satanic Church. Her father, Anton LaVey, was known as the, quote, Black Pope, who wrote the, quote, Satanic Bible. Thank you very much for coming on the program. All right, so you're angry at Scott Peterson's defense team. Tell me why.
Yes, I just think it's preposterous. There is nothing in any kind of philosophy that we have that in any way comes near any kind of sacrificing of any living thing. It is absolutely out of the question. It states that in the Satanic Bible.
But how do you know?
We believe in living life to the fullest, and we don't live for an afterlife, and people are responsible for their own actions.
Is it fair to say you think Satan's gotten a bad name? Bad rap?
Absolutely. That's how Christianity stays in business.
If you're going to be a sinner, be the best sinner on the block. You're going to do something that's naughty, do it. And realize that you're doing something naughty and enjoy it.
LaVey's daughter is simply playing that satanic PR card. The Satanic Bible approves of human sacrifice murder and in fact has an entire chapter, titled On the Choice of Human Sacrifice, devoted to saying so. Also, when his girlfriend Jane Mansfield's son was mauled by a lion, Anton gathered his co-Satanists and they petitioned their brother Satan as a personal being for the boy's healing. Note that she conveniently defines a cult as a brainwashing group, and since, if we can believe her, if she is under some ethical compunction to tell the truth and not lie, LaVeyan Satanism does not do that, then they are not a cult. No, they are merely a church. Yet, in any case, she is only employing one definition of a cult when in fact there are psychological cults, theological cults, etc., and amalgams of two or more such features. A chapter taken from the Satanic Bible titled, On the Choice of a Human Sacrifice. The use of a human sacrifice in a satanic ritual does not imply that the sacrifice is slaughtered to appease the gods. Symbolically, the victim is destroyed through the working of a hex or curse, which in turn leads to the physical, mental or emotional destruction of the sacrifice in ways and means not attributable to the magician. Yet, as we read above, Anton LaVey's own use of curses were not meant to symbolically destroy but to actually, physically, destroy the victim. The chapter continues. The only time a Satanist would perform a human sacrifice would be if it were to serve a twofold purpose, that being to release the magician's wrath in the throwing of a curse, and more important, to dispose of a totally obnoxious and deserving individual. In other words, the gates are wide open and Satanists are welcome to murder and ritual human sacrifice at will. Think about how simple it would be to justify sacrificial murder by claiming that you needed to release wrath, and how even simpler it would be to label someone as deserving of death, by the way, for being totally obnoxious and deserving. According to these standards, Miranda Barber is totally, satanically, justified. The chapter continues. Under no circumstances would a Satanist sacrifice any animal or baby! There are sound and logical reasons why the Satanists could not perform such sacrifices. Man, the animal, is the Godhead to the Satanist. The purest form of carnal existence reposes in the bodies of animals and human children. The Satanist holds these beings in a sacred regard. After such elucidations, Anton LaVey goes directly to the issue raised above, justification. The question arises, who, then, would be considered a fit and proper human sacrifice, and how is one qualified to pass judgment on such a person? The answer is brutally simple. Anyone who has unjustly wronged you, one who has gone out of his way to hurt you, to deliberately cause trouble and hardship for you or those dear to you. In short, a person asking to be cursed by their very actions. This merely compounds the subjective nature of that which personages such as Miranda Barber take upon themselves to do. Think about how simple it is to label someone as having unjustly wronged you, or has gone out of his way to hurt you. Even defining hurt is very subjective, or deliberately cause trouble and hardship, or someone you decide to perceive as asking to be cursed. LaVey then drives the point home. Destroying others is moral. When a person, by his reprehensible behavior, practically cries out to be destroyed, it is truly your moral obligation to indulge them their wish. The person who takes every opportunity to pick on others is often mistakenly called sadistic. In reality, this person is a misdirected masochist who is working towards his own destruction. The reason a person viciously strikes out against you is because they are afraid of you or what you represent, or are resentful of your happiness. They are weak, insecure, and on extremely shaky ground when you throw your curse, and they make ideal human sacrifices. Here the lines get blurred a bit, as the concept of a human sacrifice may be thought to be the good old stabbing upon a satanic altar with all of the paraphernalia that comes with a ritualistic sacrifice. Recall that Anton LaVey placed a destruction curse upon Sam Brody, LaVey's girlfriend Jane Mansfield's attorney. This resulted in both Brody and Mansfield dying a brutal death in a car accident. So, a satanic human sacrifice does not, necessarily, require the accoutrements of having a human being before you as a victim, but it can be done from afar. Next, LaVey offers more details on the how-to of the choice of a human sacrifice. It is sometimes easy to overlook the actual wrongdoing of the victim of your curse. The ideal sacrifice may cause severe damage to your tranquility or sound reputation. Mental illness, nervous breakdown, maladjustment, anxiety, neuroses, broken homes, sibling rivalry, etc., etc., ad infinitum have too long been convenient excuses for vicious and irresponsible actions. Anyone who says we must try to understand those who make life miserable for those undeserving of misery is aiding and abetting a social cancer. The apologists for these rabid humans deserve any clobberings they get at the hands of their charges. Mad dogs are destroyed, and they need help far more than the human who conveniently made froths at the mouth when irrational behavior is in order! These people, given the opportunity, they would destroy you. Therefore, you have every right to, symbolically, destroy them, and if your curse provokes their actual annihilation, rejoice that you have been instrumental in ridding the world of a pest. If your success or happiness disturbs a person, you owe him nothing. He is made to be trampled underfoot. Note the interplay of symbol and actual, as you have every right to, symbolically, destroy them but you can cause their actual annihilation. The overall message is clear and has already been noted. Anton LaVey, Church of Satan. Satanists have virtually no guidelines to go by when making the choice of a human sacrifice, and thus, can take it upon themselves to decide, at will. What follows therefrom is claims that no true Satanist would, and that they are self-styled Satanists. Yet, they may only appear to be self-styled due to the freedom of choice which LaVey enjoined upon them.
I'm a little concerned right now about your salvation and stuff.
I took a shower with Satan.
Well, my wife is a transsexual Satan worshiper.